All right, everybody, welcome back. We are on the last level, level 7, which is the challenges. And again, the challenges are super important, so please do not skip these. Let's start with activity A. So key went down, click counter. All right, responding to a single click. This game counts how many times someone presses the spacebar, but it keeps giving points when the spacebar is still pressed, even if it's not a new press. Oh, all right, so the block key went down will only give a point for new presses, so it's a better choice for this program. Do this, run the program to see how it works. Change the code to use the new block so the program only gives you a point for new clicks. And this is why you really need to do the challenge levels because we haven't looked at this block yet. So this is new information. All right, so if I hold down space, I only have to hold it down and look at it. It goes, wait, da, 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 da. I mean, that's cheating. That's not playing the game, right? So we need to get rid of this block right here, and we need to put this block in instead. So key went down. We're going to press the space bar. We're going to reset and run. So one, yep. Now I got to press it. There we go. And that works. All right. So with that, we're going to finish. We're going to go next to the next activity. It says changing animations. Okay. So this is activity B. Changing images as you move. Right now, these conditionals only do one thing, change the sprite's X or Y position, but you can actually put as much code as you want inside a conditional. A common thing to do in games is to change your character's image depending on which direction they're traveling. You're going to make a bug that always faces the directions it's moving. So make a bug that always faces the directions moving using the provided program and images. Duplicate your chosen bug image 4 times in the animation tab. Edit each of your images to point in one of the 4 directions. Add code to each of your conditionals to change the animation of the sprite if different arrow keys are pressed. All right, so run. So right now we've got the fly. All right, so all that works. Um, if the key down, if the up key is pressed, we need to set the animation to Huh. Oh, okay. So we got to come in here. All right. Well, I'm not a fly fan. I am a ladybug fan. So let's reset that. There we go. All right. So we got our ladybug. All right. And then we're going to duplicate that. And then we're going to say ladybug left. And this is going to be ladybug right. All right. And so for left, we have to do the mirror image. Great. Okay. And then we're going to duplicate this again. We're going to say ladybug down. And so there we go. Now it's facing down. And then we're going to do one more time. We're going to duplicate it. And we're going to say ladybug up. All right. We don't need that. So with this one, we're going to, there we go. All right. So let's go back to the code. All right. So set animation bug. And if it's moving up, then we're going to do ladybug up. All right. If it is going down, then we're going to say ladybug down. All right. If it is going left, we're going to say ladybug left. And then if it is going right, we're going to say ladybug right. All right. So let's run it. Uh-oh. Line 4. Okay. Oh, that's because I changed it. Okay. So we're going to start with ladybug right. Reset, run. Okay. So, oh, there it goes. Fabulous. Okay. All right. We did what we needed to do with this. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to label things in a meaningful way because I didn't have to guess. I knew that what each of the images was going to be because I labeled them correctly the first time. And that's a really important lesson. All right, so let's keep going. C, speed boost. Learn how to use nested. Okay. Learn how to use nested key presses to boost speed. Okay. Since we can move more than just one thing inside an if statement, that means we can also put another if statement inside. Okay, so that's what nesting is, like putting a doll inside of a doll inside of a doll. We're going to put an if condition inside of an if condition. Again, this is why the challenge levels are so important. So since we can put more than just one thing inside an if statement, that means we can also put another if statement. What if we put an if statement with a key down condition inside an if statement with a key down condition? This would cause our program to do something if both keys are pressed down. This is called a nested conditional, and it is exactly how we're going to complete this challenge level. Whew, so do this. Make the sprite get a boost in speed whenever the space bar is also pressed while moving right. Okay. So we're gonna put, all right. So key down space. Okay. Did I do that right? Okay, apparently I didn't. Okay. World, I'll do it this way. Okay, so key down space. Um, and then we're gonna say the sprite emoji dot x plus 5 more. I don't know. Let's find out. Um So it says make the sprite get a boost in speed whenever the space bar is also pressed while moving right. Inside the right arrow conditional and after the counter pattern, so that'd be here. Write an if statement that uses the key down with the space bar as its conditional. Use the counter pattern inside this nested if statement to make the sprite move even more to the right. Okay, so instead of 5, I'm going to do 10. All right. See the show me how information below for more help on how to program a nested if statement. Make the sprite get a boost in speed whenever the space bar is also pressed while moving left. Well, let's make sure the right one works first. Okay, so I've got my right. Oh, look at that. Okay, we're going to come back. Okay, so right and then space bar. There goes zoom. Excellent. So that did work. Okay. So we need to do the same thing down here. Can I copy and paste this? Let's find out. Oop. Okay. All right. There we go. Oh, nope. Okay. So this one has to be emoji.x minus 10. Okay, there we go. So run. So I'm going to come over here. All right, I'm going to go this way and then resume. I'm going to go this way and then zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, fabulous. We did it. And then at the bottom it says, congratulate yourself on programming your sprite get a boost in speed whenever the space bar is pressed. Congratulations to me. Show me how to program a nested conditional. It actually shows you right here. So nested conditionals can be tricky, but they unlock the ability to do so many cool things with your programs. The following will program your sprite to move an additional plus 10 whenever the space key is pressed and the right key is also pressed. So this is a little video of what we did right here. Okay, so with that, let's finish, move on to the next level. All right, so D, play music. Play some music. Ooh, we got a blank slate. This means that this is one of those you can do on your own. Yay. Use what you've learned so far to make your favorite instruments to make music when keys are pressed. You can use instrument animations in our library or draw your own. Use the play sound command to make your favorite instruments play sounds when keys are pressed. For example, if you like to play the piano and the drums, you can turn the sprite into a piano sprite and play a piano sound when the letter P is pressed and when you press the letter D. Then sprite turns into the drums and drumming sound plays. So when you're finished, you can click share to send your creation to a friend or remix to send it to your projects gallery. So this is where you can make your own music. How fun. Okay. I'll let you play with that. And let's go look at the very last challenge because it's going to be something similar. So a simple game. All right. Use what you've learned so far to make a simple version of your favorite game when keys are pressed. For example, you could make a rock, paper, scissors game by changing a sprite to a rock, piece of paper, or scissors based on keys pressed. Make it a two-player version by having two sprites and two different sets of keys that are pressed to change the sprite's animations. You may not be able to create a fully functioning game yet, but you still might be able to recreate part of your favorite game or a simple version of your favorite game. For example, if your favorite game involves characters moving around a scene, perhaps you can create that part of the game and make your characters move and change animation when keys are pressed. You may not be able to create the perfect and complete game yet, but you can develop a prototype which shows the general idea of the gameplay and some of the basic features behind how it could look. So when you're finished, you can click share to send your creation to a friend or remix to send it to your projects gallery. So let's recap. You know how to put sprites on the screen. You know how to make a background. You know how to add text. You know how to use a counter pattern. You know how to use an if statement. So realistically, you could make a game at this point that could be simple for sure, but it is possible. Um, and that is an amazing thing already. We're already able to make something like this. So I'm going to let you explore and go crazy and have fun with this. And I cannot wait to see what you come up with. All right. With that, we are done with lesson 16. So I will see you guys next time. All right. Here we go.